thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new first impression Friday video. I have some new makeup here that I'm really excited to try out, so I thought we could do it together on camera. So I have the eyeshadow palette from the new MAC and Patrick Starrr collection. This one is in Play With Me. I also have a new concealer from Milk Makeup that people are kind of chatting about. I have two new releases from Morphe. I have one of their blush trios and then also a new highlight that they are releasing. And then I'm so excited for this. I just got my package in the mail with the Casey Holmes and Palladio liquid lipstick collaboration, so I'm really excited to test these out as well. So if you are ready for a first impression video, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alright, I got my ears on, we are zoomed in. I am going to start off with the eyes, so I do have them primed and set. I have my foundation on and also my brows. I'm trying out a new brow pencil. It's kind of dark, so I'm kind of freaked out right now, but hey, that's okay. But I do want to start off with the eyes. I am going to be testing out a concealer, so I thought I would do that next since I have foundation on and I'm going to be using darker colors. I can at least like try to have the concealer help clean everything up if need be. But like I said, I did get sent one of the collections with the new MAC and Patrick Starrr collaboration, which I'm really excited about. So they sent me the Play With Me eyeshadow palette. So here's what the palette looks like. And then here are the 4 shades inside. They also did send me the blush palette and the lipstick and the lip gloss, but I figure for today and with the other new items that I had, I'm just gonna go ahead and test out this eyeshadow palette. But I will be testing out the full collab and I'll put that in a review video. And as always with my first impression videos, I will come back in a couple of weeks and review everything. I did a first impression style last Friday as well, the collaboration with my friend Kim. So I will probably combine these two first impression style videos together and do one big review video in about 2 weeks or so. So stay tuned for that. So again, this is what we're working with. And I'm kind of excited that I got this palette versus the other collection, which that one is more purple, which I absolutely love purples, but this blue, you are seeing this blue in like every single palette release as of recently. So I was excited to get the blue, and that's the main color that I want to play with. So they sent along this really beautiful picture as well that has some information in there with the PR kit. And I want to try to like recreate this type of look. I have no idea if I'm gonna do this okay. And I was looking on Instagram for like some other inspo as well, and it seems like that's what everyone's doing with this palette. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to do that myself. But first I'm going to grab the shade right here with a big blending brush. I'll have everything, all of my brushes and stuff linked down below like I normally do. And I'm just going to first run this into the crease. I did also receive Patrick's first collaboration with MAC as well, which is I don't know if I have good words for it. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy to get noticed by MAC. It's crazy to be able to test out another YouTuber's collaboration with such a huge brand. Like, it's so exciting. So when I got this one in the mail too, it always just kind of takes me a minute to be like, what? Me? You know? But I really enjoyed the eyeshadow quads that came in that collaboration as well. In my review video, I said that was, I think, one of like the favorite parts of the collection that I was testing out. I really, really enjoyed those eyeshadows. I still do. I still take them traveling with me, etc. So I'm really excited to try out this eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to come into this pink now, which this is where I start to get a little worried. We'll see how we do. I'm going to take my Sigma E43 because I feel like it has a good point to it, but it's also good to blend. And I'm just going to start small and build my way up. But I'm also going to run this along the crease as well and blend it into that first color, but try to give it just more of a pop of pink. So I'm just going to slowly keep doing this until I build it up. That way I don't overwhelm myself. Like when people were doing this look, and even like in Patrick's picture, it's like you just see this really bright pink kind of like popping out from the blue. I don't know. We'll see how I do. I'm not the best at recreating looks off a photo. I like to watch videos. That really helps me a lot, but I haven't seen a lot of videos. And I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't seen a lot of videos yet with the collection, so I'm kind of winging it, which I don't love to do, but hey, give it a try. I'm not noticing a lot of fallout yet. We'll see what happens when we get to the blue, but I'm not noticing anything yet. Again, I'm just taking my sweet time over here. building this pink up. So once I have the pink placed down, I'm going to go in with this beautiful blue. I'm going to use the Sigma E57 and just place that onto the lid. I'm not going to use a damp brush at first. I want to see how the blue applies on its own. It looks pretty pigmented there on the brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and start to sweep this onto the lid. That does look pretty good without a damp brush. Dang. That looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna spray my brush a bit though, just to make it pop just a tiny bit more, but honestly mostly also for fallout, just because I do have foundation on. Like I said, I'm gonna come in with concealer next, but I'm getting some blue fallout around here, so just to try to minimize that as best as I can. If I use a damp brush, it kind of helps with the fallout. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pack that onto the lid. That looks gorgeous. So you can see I'm still getting some fallout around my eye there. Okay, once I have the blue packed on, I'm just gonna grab that Sigma brush again and just make sure everything is blended. Okay, that's where I'm gonna leave the eyes for right now. I feel like I like this eye better than this eye. I feel like this eye just like looks sloppy. I'll need to like clean it up with concealer over here and stuff, but I feel like I like the way that this eye like blended out and how this one looks, but I also have the most fallout over here. So looking at the little paper here, it looks like it'll be available coming April 19th. So I'm gonna use this a little bit more when I finish off of the eye look, but for right now, this is where we're gonna leave the eyes. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and then come in with some concealer. So for the concealer, I'm going to use this new one here from Milk Makeup. It's called the Flex Concealer. It says full coverage with Flex. It's a vegan full coverage concealer. It says it's comfortable, easy liquid to move with your face, never creases or cakes. It's supposed to be full coverage, but also be hydrating. Looks like there's 8 different shades. I think this was $28. I was just looking at it. It doesn't say on there, which is weird. I was just looking at it at the Sephora website, but this is what the packaging looks like. And then for the wand, here is what that one looks like as well. I picked out the shade, I don't know. Does it not say on here? What the heck? I picked out the shade Fair. It's there. Okay then. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to my under eyes. Ooh, it does feel very hydrating right off the bat. I'm gonna do the one side first and blend it out and see what I think. I'm using my EcoTools Sponge. It's sturdy because I used it for my foundation as well. But I could tell right away when I applied it, it did feel hydrating, like it didn't feel super dry, but also at the same time, I could tell that it felt like it had like an oomph of coverage, but we'll see how it looks after I blend it out. Okay, so here's my under eye with the concealer on, and this one I haven't done anything with yet. I feel like it blended out pretty easily. I think it does a good job covering. I always have this red mark here on my under eye that's not completely concealed, but it's fairly concealed. So I don't know, I think that it looks pretty good so far. It doesn't seem to be too drying because I'm dealing with dry skin because it's April 9th and it's snowing. Duh, why wouldn't it be snowing on April 9th? I'm so disappointed. Today was supposed to be the Cubs home opener at Wrigley. I was gonna watch it this afternoon, but nope, got postponed because of all the snow at Wrigley, which was crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing here on the next eye. So my camera was overheating while I was blending this side out, so I did go ahead and set it with some powder from the Kat Von D Shade Light palette. I've been testing out the RCMA No Color powder for a review, but I didn't want to do it because I felt like I noticed that it was a little bit dry, especially on this side. I noticed a dry patch, so I didn't want to use a loose powder because I feel like it kind of can emphasize the dryness. So I did notice that, and I also thought maybe the shade Fair was a little bit too light for me, so I'm going to do some spot concealing, and I grabbed out the shade Light to do a little bit of concealing around my mouth here. So that's interesting because when I applied it, it does feel really hydrating as you're actually applying it to the face, but starting to blend it out, I noticed that it got just a little bit thicker and a little bit more on the dry side. So I'm just going to go ahead and dot this around my mouth and see how it does for spot concealing. I will also say that I don't think the shade range is the best, especially because fair, I mean, I'm not super fair, so it just makes me wonder for people who are so much paler than me if they would have a shade that would really work well for them. Because like I said, I do feel like this is lighter, but it's not like super, super light. So I don't know, but we'll go ahead and see how this one works. I feel like that did a really good job with everything around my mouth. So I don't know. Of course, this is a first impression video, so I'm going to keep testing this out so I can give my review, but I know some people have been buzzing about this one lately, so I really wanted to give it a try. Have you tried this new one from Milk Makeup? What do you think? But yeah, so far so good. I can't say like I'm overly hyped about it, but I don't hate it, so it's okay. I went ahead and added some bronzer quickly as well. I feel like I said added weird. Added some bronzer quickly, and then I'm going to move on to blush. So I just got a package this morning from Morphe, which I was really excited about, and it came with a bunch of blush trios, blush palettes, and also highlights. So I picked out a blush trio to try out here today. This one is in Pop of Fuchsia. So this is the box that it comes in, and everything was really nicely packaged. It comes with a little protective sheet here, and then here is what the blush trios look like. And then inside, of course, they have 3 shades in there, and then there is also a nice mirror. So I was looking at them, and it seemed like there's a shimmer in every palette. Some it's kind of like this middle, more traditional blush shade is what I noticed in each one. So sometimes it's that one and sometimes it's the one on the end, but they have quite a few different ones to choose from. And looking at the little sheet that they sent along, it says it's available in 7 shade trios. It'll be available for $12, and it'll be for sale starting on April 12th. So that is the blush trio. So I thought I would pick this one because I felt like the center fuchsia shade maybe would go with kind of like the pink in this look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply to the cheeks and see what I think here. I did actually just mention these in my latest Will I Buy It video. Oh, okay. Too much, Samantha. We're gonna have to spend some time blending that out. But I'm not mad to see, oh boy, okay then. I'm not mad to see pigment in these though, because what I was saying in my Will I Buy It video is that I've tried Morphe face palettes in the past, and I'm like a straight up clown at this moment. I've tried Morphe's face palettes in the past, and they haven't been very pigmented, and I just didn't love them. So that's why I wasn't going to buy them, but you can see that I felt like I wasn't super light-handed because I was thinking Morphe face palettes aren't that pigmented. So, but I didn't go like super heavy-handed, but you can see that there's definitely some pigment to these. I do like that fuchsia color, that's pretty, but I'm just gonna take some time and blend this out, maybe grab my sponge here and do some work here. So hey, okay, Morphe blush palettes, they have pigment, no lie. So I tried to tame it down to a normal blush level, it's the best that I can do. But I am going to go ahead and swatch this palette just because I'm curious to see these other shades in here. The blush trios were more unique than I thought that they would be. There was just a couple photos on the Trend Mood Instagram, and I didn't realize that they were like each going to have a shimmer in it. I didn't realize each trio, like I feel like the shades correspond to one another, but I feel like there's some like good differences in here. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so far, I mean, I'm impressed with these. I need to make sure when I use it again, I go a little bit light-handed than I did the first time, but I'm glad to see that there was pigment in them because I just wasn't impressed with Morphe face palettes in the past. But again, those are swatches, and this is from the Pop of Fuchsia palette. So I'll be testing out a few other ones that I decided to keep for myself as well, and I will review these shortly. Like I said, Morphe also is going to be releasing new highlights. So these are what the packaging looks like. These are going to be $14, available in 6 different shades, and these will be available on April 26th. So I picked out the shade Extra, and again, it was packaged really nicely in here with kind of the protective padding in there, and again, very similar packaging to the blush trio. And here is what the shade Extra looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead, ooh, it feels really soft. There is a swatch of Extra, and there it is on my hand. So it has like some champagne gold tones to it, I would say. So let me grab out my brush here, and I like that it has the mirror as well. Again, these are $14 a piece. I like that mirror in there. So let's go ahead and see. Ooh, that looks really pretty. Okay, so here is what Extra looks like. I like that color. I feel some texture over here on the side of my face, and I do see that, I mean, you can see it, of course, because I'm highlighting it, but nothing too bad, but it is there. Fun. That's a pretty poppin' highlight, though. That is pretty. I'm gonna take just a little bit down bridge of my nose and also the tip of my nose, and that's about the extent that I do for highlighting my face these days, but hey, I think that's pretty good. It doesn't seem to be too powdery. I think on here it said something about creamy. A daringly creamy zero gravity highlighter for explosive prismatic effects. I don't find it to be creamy at all. Like when I swatched it, it didn't seem very creamy, and even applying it, but it's nothing like too powdery or anything like that, and I feel like that's pretty well pigmented. You get a lot of product in there, you get a nice smear. So again, these will be available on April 26th. Okay, before I finish off with the lip color, I'm gonna go ahead and add some lashes. So I'm gonna pick some lashes out and add them. I feel like with this type of eye look, like I just need lashes to kind of like balance it out. Otherwise, with just mascara, my lashes are gonna get lost in this blue and pink, and it's not gonna be cute. Okay, so I added some lashes, and then I also put some of this liner from the Balm. It's the Mr. Right in, why can I never find shade names? It's just the blue liner. I don't know if it has a shade name, but it's the blue, so I added that to the waterline. So then I'm gonna come back into the MAC and Patrick Starrr palette and just finish off the lower lash line. So I think I'm first going to take the blue with a flat definer brush. This is a Morphe E43, and I'm going to push that really close against the lower lash line, and then I'll come in with the pink. And then I'm going to take the Sigma pencil brush, the E30. I'm going to grab the pink and put it right under the blue and kind of blend it. I don't know if that'll come out right, but I'll give it a shot. And then I do want to pick up this lash shade that I haven't used with my small pencil brush, the Morphe E36. I'm just going to put this in the inner corner and see what she looks like. Oh, that's really pretty. Ooh. I feel like that shade just added a little bit of kind of like a peachy vibe to the inner corner. So there is the final eye look. I actually like the way the lower lash line came out. We'll of course keep playing with this palette. Again, I like this eye better than this eye. I feel like my blending skills are not being very well shown on this eye, but I like the way that this one came out, so I'm just gonna keep looking at this eye. Like the lower lash line, I really like how that's looking. So that is it for the eye look, and then we just have lips to finish it off. So like I said, I did pick up the Casey Holmes and Palladio Beauty liquid lipstick collab. I talked about this in a recent Will I Buy It video and just said I was really excited for this. Casey Holmes is one of my favorite YouTubers. I do enjoy liquid lipsticks. I'm not familiar with the brand Palladio Beauty, but listening to her talk about this and seeing the, I think it was the Pop Sugar review, sounds like it's a really good liquid lipstick, and I'm always up for trying new brands and new products. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch each of these. So this first one here is in Georgia. So I'm gonna swatch them, and that way, well, that way you can see the swatches, but that way so I can also decide what I wanna do for this eye look. These swatches are kind of terrible, but there is what the wand looks like. There is Georgia. So that one is a really nice kind of peachy color. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch Rescue. All right, so there is Rescue next to Georgia. And then the next one that I'm gonna swatch, the third and final one, this is called Obsessed. That one looks extremely pigmented. Whoa. Okay, so there we have Georgia, Rescue, and Obsessed. I was kind of thinking about Obsessed with the pink lip, but I'm afraid that's gonna be like, I don't know. I'm afraid that's gonna be like too much for me right off the bat. So I think I'm gonna come in with Rescue, the nude. I feel like I'm already, you know, a little outside my comfort zone with my eye look, so I'll go ahead and stay in the comfort zone with the lip product. Alrighty, so here is Rescue on my lips. I really like this nude. I do like the way it looks with the eyes too. It's a really kind of like deep brown nude. I think it looks really nice. It was easy, like I like the applicator. It was easy to kind of line my lips as well. And it's very opaque. It didn't take me much to fill them in either. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, so no transfer there, so that's good. And it's only been on my lips for not even a full minute, so it did dry down very fast. So I will be testing these out. I'll be wearing all of the colors and seeing how they last and all of that. But a big congratulations to Casey Holmes. Again, she's just one of my favorite YouTubers, so I was really excited to get this collab. I love the names, I love the shades that she picked, and we will see how I enjoy the liquid lipstick. But after that, that is gonna do it for this first impressions video. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today's first impression Friday video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me try out some of these new products. So just a quick run through. I really do like the Palladio palette from MAC and Patrick Starrr. I want to play with it a little bit more. You know, if you're not a fan of color, I don't know if you would love this particular eyeshadow palette the best, but I do like what I came up with. I have a feeling if I were to reach into this one, I would kind of create a lot of the same looks. I also do want to try to do a look with more of these pinkies and maybe just do like a pop of blue, or maybe even leave the blue out. I don't know, and just see what kind of other looks I can create, because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be doing this style of look with this palette. But that's what I wanted to try out today, and I really did want to use the blue. But I mean, MAC and Patrick Starrr eyeshadow palettes, they have proved to be good in the past, and I think that one will be good as well. I do obviously, of course, need to try everything out, but this Milk Makeup concealer, I couldn't get a good feel for it right away. It was like kind of strange how it went on, like hydrating, but then I felt like it was drying as I was blending it out. So I'll have to play with it a few times and see what I think about it. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be that product that I like. I don't love, but I'm still like okay with it, and it still works good. So I'll keep trying that guy out, of course. The Morphe products. Okay, so the blush palette, I'm glad to see that it had pigment to it, but I will keep in mind for next time that I will go a little bit lighter handed so I didn't have to spend so much time blending it out. But that does make me excited, and hopefully they're going to be better. You know, Morphe's done a lot of like rebranding and things like that in the past few months, year, whatever it's been here. So, you know, I like the packaging on this. I like the mirror. It feels legit, and if the pigment is good, then I'm pretty excited for that. The highlight I have no complaints about. Again, this one was an extra. Again, I like how much product you get. I like the mirror in here, and I feel like the highlight looks pretty dang good. I'm so excited for Casey Holmes and the Palladio Beauty lipsticks. I'm excited to keep testing them out. If you'd want like a swatch type video on Instagram or something, let me know, where I put all three of the lipsticks on so you can see what they all look like. But so far, based on first impressions, you know, it's been sitting here drying for about 5 minutes now, I would say, and it still feels really comfortable on the lips. It doesn't feel too dry for me yet. There was no transfer with them, so that's good, but I'm curious to see how it wears throughout the day and to get those other shades on. But again, that is it for today's First Impression Friday video. Everything that I talked about will be linked down below. The brushes I used, everything will be down there. I hope that you enjoyed this video, or you found it helpful. Check back in a couple weeks for my follow-up video with all of my reviews for these products. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this one, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.